Mayor, let me ask you something. Does it feel like 2 years?
Feels like 6.
You're not kidding, are you?
No, I'm not kidding. I still got my hair, so that's a good thing. But it feels a lot longer than 2 years just because of so much work that we've been embarking on since I took office last January. And you think about what we inherited January 3rd of 2022. First, we had to really address the tragic murder of Officer Shane Bartek and really ensure that we did right by the Bartek family. We had to confront Omicron and the increase in COVID-19 and really ensure that our city had a smart, effective vaccination strategy. Then we had to prepare the city to host the biggest international event coming out of the Omicron variant, which was the NBA All-Star Game. That on top of the racial reckoning that America saw after the murder of George Floyd, and ensuring that we had a smart, talented cabinet in place to execute our priorities as an administration. And so it's been a long, nearly 2 years, but an exciting 2 years, and I'm excited for the next half of my first term.
Now, I know that this is a job you've wanted since you were a child.
Yeah.
I also know that you're a student of history and this office as well. But
Yeah.
What was the biggest surprise coming into this office?
I would say I always knew that there would be a lot of decisions that would come across my desk as mayor, but the breadth and depth of those decisions. Everything from how do we accelerate the process to get an abandoned house torn down in a community that deserves high quality housing and high quality neighborhoods, to the choices we've had to make around public safety to ensure that we not only pay our officers more, but we do it in a prudent way to put Cleveland in an effective financial outlook for the future. And so to me, it's the juxtaposition of the number of choices, but the impact that those choices can make on our city and our residents.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a fair question. Is it more complicated than you thought it would be? Is it harder? Are some things easier about it? How would you characterize that?
You know, I would say it's as complicated as I thought it would be. I'd say the biggest challenge that I didn't anticipate would be sometimes you have to go slow in order to achieve your long-term goal. And as you know, Russ, I campaign on this idea that Cleveland couldn't wait, right? And I still have that sense of urgency right now as mayor. But when you're trying to turn around a 100-plus-year-old bureaucracy with the first new mayor in nearly 2 decades, sometimes you have to listen more, get more feedback, and do more coalition building to get the right long-term outcome that's lasting that you want. Could we have prioritized just getting quick wins? Absolutely. But it's the quick wins, but the hard choices that we are making now for long-term lasting change that we're also focused on as well.
What are you most proud of over the past 2 years?
I think we, as an administration, have given Clevelanders a renewed sense of hope and optimism about what our potential can be as a city. You know, in my first State of the City address, I talked about this notion of giving Cleveland the permission to dream again. And that was important for me because as a son of Cleveland, I've seen firsthand how we tend to get knocked down. We tend to believe we can't achieve big things. We tend to believe we can't take big risks. And if there's anything that I want to be remembered by or for as mayor is a mayor who wasn't afraid to make big bets. We're making a big bet to really transform the Southeast side with our $15 million down payment we've done with American Rescue Plan investments. We're making a big bet with our $50 million ARPA investment to make sure we have shovel-ready job sites in the core of our city so that Clevelanders have a job they can walk to in our city. And we're making big bets to finally see real shovels in the ground on the riverfront and the lakefront to reimagine the core of our city for the next generation. And so I'm not going to shy away from taking the right bets to really achieve our potential long-term as a city.
Let me ask you about a couple of specifics I know that have come across your desk in the past
Yeah.
2 years. Do you see any scenario where there's a new stadium in downtown Cleveland for the Cleveland Browns to play in?
Well, right now we are in the middle of negotiations with the Browns and the Haslam family. I believe that the Haslams, like our administration, want to see the Browns stay on the lakefront. The focus of that conversation right now is on renovating the existing stadium. And we are in a unique position as a mid-sized legacy American city to have 3 Major League sports teams from the NBA, NFL, and the MLB. And we're committed to doing everything we can to keep the Browns on the lakefront as a key part of transforming that part of our city.
So to paraphrase something we say in my business, stay tuned.
Stay
Is that
tuned.
what you're saying?
Stay tuned. More to come on that.
Another issue that I know you've talked about a lot is rebranding the city of Cleveland. What do you mean by that?
You know, one of the biggest pieces of feedback I got when I traveled the country last year, really reintroducing Cleveland to the world, was folks didn't see us in certain places. And over the last 2 years, I've been really amazed at how excited folks are about the work we have done to reintroduce Cleveland to the world. Everything from hosting the Forbes 30 Under 30 conference in October. We had folks from over 49 states come to Cleveland for that conference, to the fact that we hosted world-class entrepreneurs, folks like Baron Davis and Cleveland's own Rich Paul, to our WinterLand summit over the last 2 years as well. Cleveland's back in the national conversation in a positive way, in a way we haven't been in a long time. And I really believe that it's my responsibility as mayor to be the chief salesperson for the city, to make sure we not only get our fair share, but more than our fair share, to attract new investment, new talent, and put Cleveland on the map as a globally competitive city.
As you know, obviously before your term in 2016, when the Republican convention was here, Cleveland obviously got a lot of national and international play. Do you see the city, along with Destination Cleveland and other entities here, making a play for another big political convention?
Well, beyond just another big political convention, I'd love to host the DNC in 2028, but we have a number of conventions looking to come to Cleveland. We have the American Association of Professional Executives coming over the next couple of years, the National Association of Black Journalists. We're hosting the Women's Basketball Final Four, I believe, next year as well, too. And Destination Cleveland has done a fantastic job marketing Cleveland as a destination for large-scale events, alongside the Sports Commission as well, too. Travel and Leisure Magazine ranked us as one of the top destinations to visit as well for 2024. So I think the trend line is going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. We talked about the next 2 years and some of the things you want to accomplish. I guess if someone were to ask you, Mayor, what's job one from this point till the end of this particular term?
Yeah. Well, I think number one, really deliver on the campaign commitments I made when I ran for mayor in 2021. Number one, having a modern and responsive City Hall. And we made early strides in order to do that, from the fact that we launched the city's first new website in nearly 20 years several months ago, to the fact we actually now have smart parking meters in downtown Cleveland, to the work we're doing and we'll launch next year with our brand new 311 call center hotline, to make sure that residents can track their complaint like they can track a FedEx package. But also the work we've done internally to attract and retain good talent at City Hall. We changed our vacation policy so that we can actually attract and retain good talent. We now have one of the most progressive parental leave policies in the state, giving our employees 12 weeks of paid parental leave when they have a childbirth or adopt a child. These are all things that are part of my vision of a more modern and responsive City Hall. Secondly, public safety. And as I've said before, and now I will always say, public safety is my first, second, and third, and fourth priority as mayor. And our administration is not going to spare any expense to keep Cleveland safe, from the historic investments we've made in boosting police pay to the investments we're making in technology. As I said before, Russ, we have nearly 3,000 businesses and residents registered for our smart camera system. We've installed over 100 license plate readers all across the city. And we believe that technology and intelligence will be a key driver in terms of us really addressing our public safety challenges as a city. Then thirdly, really ensuring we finally see real transformation on our waterfronts, from the Cuyahoga River to Lake Erie. This is a once in a generation opportunity to make Cleveland a true two waterfront city. And I believe that'll be our secret ingredient to really jumpstart our economic recovery over the next 10, 15, 20 plus years.
2 more years to go in this term?
Yes.
Will you run again in 2025?
I'm looking forward to announcing my reelection campaign in 2025 and knocking on doors, talking to voters about the work we did, the challenges we confronted, and the work that continues as we do the hard work of moving Cleveland forward.
Yeah, there are people, and I know you've heard this before, who say, you know, Mayor Bibb is a young guy.
Yeah.
He obviously, their words, has higher political ambitions moving forward, beyond the mayor of Cleveland.
Yes.
How accurate is that statement?
My only ambition right now is finishing our first term with the same sense of urgency that we had when we took office last January, and getting reelected in 2025, because we have so much work to do to transform Cleveland. I, as mayor, can't tackle problems that we've inherited for nearly 100 years, from racism to historic disinvestment to staggering population loss. You can't address and fix those problems in just 4 years. We need more time to do the people's work, and I look forward to the long journey ahead.